kick things off with the biggest question there is, really, the one that sits at the very core of this story. What is your life's true purpose? I mean, really think about that for a second, because The Alchemist isn't just asking you to ponder this. It's inviting you on a real, honest-to-goodness quest to find the answer.
Okay, so this quest, it has a name. And this name is probably the most important idea in the whole book. It's what Coelho calls your personal legend. So, what in the world is a personal legend? Well, it's not just, a goal you set for the new year. It's bigger than that. It's your destiny, the one unique reason you're here. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. It's not about knowing all the steps. It's about finding the guts to just start, to take that first step, especially when you have no idea where you're going. And that leads us to maybe the most famous line from the entire book. It's the thing that gives you hope when you're facing all that uncertainty. The idea is, once you really, truly commit to your personal legend, the universe itself kind of leans in to help. It's like things just start to click. The right people show up, you see the signs. It's this beautiful call to just trust the process. Right, so if the universe has your back, what's your part in all this? It's simple, but it's not easy. You have to trust the journey. And that's our second big takeaway. Because this is where the real magic happens. Not at the end, but along the way. You see, Santiago, our main character, he's on this quest for a literal physical treasure. Gold, jewels, the whole thing. But what he finds out pretty quickly is that the journey is the treasure. The people he meets, the lessons he learns, the way he changes inside, that's the real gold. That's the stuff that actually makes him who he's meant to be. So how do you actually do that? How do you trust the journey? Well, the book gives us this kind of 3-step guide. First, you've got to listen to your heart. That's your compass. Your intuition knows the way. Second, you have to embrace the process. Find joy in the day-to-day, not just thinking about the finish line. And third, and this is huge, realize that everyone and everything is a teacher. Every single challenge, every person you meet, they're not roadblocks. They're part of the lesson. Okay, but let's be real. It's not all smooth sailing. There's always one massive thing that gets in the way, right? And that brings us to our third part. Action overcomes fear. This is all about the one giant monster that stops most of us before we even begin.
And here it is, the big showdown. On one side, you've got fear. And fear is a master architect, right? It builds these massive walls in our minds, walls that feel totally real and impossible to climb. It paralyzes us. But the alchemist tells us there's a secret weapon, and that's action. Any action, just one step. That's what shatters the illusion. That's the real power Santiago had. Not just dreaming, but doing. Just taking the next step. And when you keep taking those steps, when you push past that fear, you get to the story's big reveal, the final beautiful twist. And that's our last section, the true treasure within. This is where everything we think we know about treasure gets turned completely on its head. Remember how Santiago was looking for gold? He spends this entire book on a quest for physical, tangible riches. But the whole point, the punchline of the entire story, is that the treasure was never really about the gold. It was a metaphor all along. The real prize was what he found inside himself because of the journey he took.
So what is this true wealth then? Well, the book breaks it down. First, it's self-knowledge. I mean, really, truly knowing yourself. Second, it's inner peace, that incredible feeling you get when your life is lined up with who you're supposed to be. And finally, it's a deep spiritual fulfillment. That's the treasure chest Santiago opens. And the book's promise is that it's waiting for every single one of us.
And this inner treasure gets even deeper with one final gorgeous idea, what the book calls the soul of the world. It's this simple but profound belief that everything and everyone is connected. We're all part of the same thing. And when you finally get that, when you feel it, your own personal journey suddenly feels bigger. It feels like you're part of this huge, incredible story. It gives you a real sense of belonging. So in the end, the journey was the alchemy. It didn't just lead him to gold, it transformed him into someone who could finally see the treasure that, in a beautiful, symbolic way, was waiting for him right back at home. So I'll leave you with this. The journey changed him. The treasure was always there. So, what transformation is waiting for you? What treasure might you uncover, not thousands of miles away, but right here,